we talked about identifying or at least observing both the tempo and the temperature of the person. So are they fast-paced or slow-paced? That's usually the easy one. But are they more people-orientated or more task-orientated? Another way I sometimes describe it is, are they warm towards you as you interact with them? Or are they more cold towards you? They're more interested in you as a task. You're trying to get something done out of you. Especially when you're meeting someone for the first time or the 500th time, you want to identify, hey, what's their communication style? Because different personality types communicate in different ways. And if you don't communicate in their language, sometimes it's like I'm talking to you in Japanese and you're talking to me in Mandarin or Korean or something. No, we can kind of get each other, but it's ships passing in the night.
That's right.
Sometimes. So what I often do, and I teach a few students, is within the span of a handshake, you want to ask that question: are they fast-paced or slow-paced? Are they more people-orientated or more task-orientated? And an easy way to build rapport and trust with that person and connection with that person is just to reflect back both their energy level, their pace, and also talk about things that interest them, more about people or more about tasks. Let me give you an example from last week. Okay,
let's do it.
So I'm more of a high energy person. So I met up with someone last week at a cafe, connected to LinkedIn, was interested in the kind of stuff he was doing in the community. So I said, hey, let's meet up, let's have a coffee, let's chat. I waited for him, saw him coming through the door, went up to him and say, hi, my name is Daniel. Right? And his reply, let's call him Alex. Right? His reply is, hi, my name is Alex. How are you doing? And immediately I think, okay, is he fast-paced or slow-paced? What do you think?
I'm going to go slow-paced.
He's more slow-paced, at least more slow-paced than I am.
Yes.
Okay, people and task, a bit hard to tell, right? But the first thing I do is I pull back my tempo, my speed, and said, hi, nice to meet you, Alex. It's a pleasure. Thank you for making the time to see me. Now, that's not usually my normal rate of speaking. But if I kept up my high-speed talking pattern, all right, and his normal rate of speaking is a lot slower, he's going to feel a little bit overwhelmed and a bit rushed. And I don't want him to feel that. So what I do is I bring back my tempo to his level. Right? And at least I start off at that pace so that I build a good first impression. I build rapport with him. And then I have a conversation with him. Right? Is he more of a people person or more of a task-oriented person? I think he's somewhere in the middle, maybe leaning a bit to people. So I would talk about his background. I would talk about his family. I would talk about his friendship circle, so about a little bit more, be more genuinely interested in him as a person. But if you were more task orientated, I will start talking about, okay, let's talk business, let's talk shop, let's see what we want to get out of this conversation. I'll contrast that with someone I met at church on Sunday. Okay, so I was introduced to this person, a big sized fella, young guy, but he's like a head taller than I am. All right, big burly. The person who introduced me to him said that he was interested in changing his career, and he wanted to kind of get some insights. All right, so I said, hi, my name is Daniel. He says, let's call him Bob. All right, he said, hi, my name is Bob. Good to see you. I hear that you're the person to talk to. All right. Is he fast-paced or slow-paced?
He's fast-paced.
He is fast-paced. Is he more task-orientated or people-orientated?
Very much task.
He's task-orientated. All right, so more of a high D personality. So I switch over to that mode. Even though that's not my natural way of speaking, I go, okay, all right, he's more interested in networking, getting things out of this conversation, getting a task done. So I focus on that thing. I don't talk about, what's your family background, maybe a little bit, but, I don't talk about, who are your friends, how long have you been in this church, all that kind of stuff. He's trying to get an outcome. Right? So I flip to that mode. I go, okay, all right, this is your outcome. What are you trying to get at? Where were you from? What's your career background? Why are you heading in this direction? How can I help? Right? And I think if you just ask yourself those two questions every time you meet someone, right? Are they fast-paced or slow-paced? Are they more interested in people? Are they more interested in a relationship? Or are they more interested in getting stuff done? And then you just tweak the way you communicate in order to suit the other person. In that way, you are being other-centered in your communication. And that's a very simple but effective way to build connection and rapport and relationship with someone.